So I'm going to do a quick overview of the dial sessions. There's a little bit of nuance to them, and so it'll be good to just have a good full description on how they work. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to filter your leads however you want to whatever leads you're going to be calling for your dial session. I've already added myself right here, so I'm not going to filter anything. But yeah, so then the next thing you're going to want to do is hit create dial session. And then you can choose how many dials per lead you do, one, two, or three. I think most people end up doing three. And then you're going to go ahead and want to select the leads that you're going to dial. You can select them by either checking the box next to them, or you can just hit select all if you're in a category where you're just going to call all those leads in that spot. But obviously, I'm just going to call myself. And so before I hit start session, I'll just kind of describe how it works. So what'll happen is as soon as you hit start session, it's gonna pop up the lead card, the little phone's gonna pop up in the corner, and then it's gonna immediately start dialing that lead. And so if you choose an amount of dials per lead more than one, so either two or three, the very first time it rings, it's gonna ring the client's end for about 15 seconds. And then after 15 seconds, it's gonna hang up, and then it's gonna wait for about 5 seconds, and then it's gonna dial again. And if you choose 2 dials per lead, then on that second dial, it's gonna go all the way through to the voicemail. But if you do three, then on that second dial, it's gonna do the same thing, be a 15 seconds ring, which is roughly about 5 rings on the client's phone. And then it'll hang up, wait for 5 seconds, and then dial again. And on the very last one, it'll ring all the way through to voicemail. So you can either leave a voicemail, hang up, do whatever you want. Um, and these are all kind of intentional to help you avoid being flagged as spam. So the pause between calls, about 5 seconds, is just so the phone carriers don't automatically flag you as spam, which they do if the speed between your calls, like concurrent calls, are too quick. And then also, if you don't let the phone ring long enough, then they start to flag you as spam. So that's why 15 seconds and then 5 second pause, which are all human amounts of time, as they call it. Anyways, so I'm going to hit start session. I'm just going to kind of let it ring all the way through. I'm probably just going to fast forward this part because who wants to listen to a phone ring a bunch of times? I'll actually just kind of let it ring all the way through for the first one so you can kind of see what it does. And then once it starts to dial the second time, I'll hang it up. So as you see, it hangs up and it's going to pause and wait. And then boom, there it goes again, dialing like crazy. All right, so you guys kind of get the idea. It does this, it's going to go all the way through. So I'm just going to hang it up because I hate listening to the phone actually ring, which is why I have podcasts for dial sessions. But anyway, so we're just going to pretend it went all the way through and you left a voicemail or something. So what it's going to do is it's going to sit here and just kind of pause on the lead. That way it gives you all the time you need, like A, in case you spoke to them, B, if you like, a lot of times what a lot of people like to do is listen to their voicemail and see if on that voicemail they have like a nickname that they go by. So like instead of Franklin, they go by Frank. And so you can kind of make all the edits you want without having to do it super quick and it just kind of go into the next lead. So this is also kind of how it forces you to organize your leads. So you're going to have all your dial sessions here, or your call statuses here. Sorry. You obviously can see I have a lot of them. And so all of your call statuses, they're completely editable, changeable, deletable. So I have a different tutorial for that. But if you didn't know, you know now that you can change your call statuses. But anyway, so it's just going to sit here for as long as you want until you disposition the call. So this is to help force you to organize your leads. And so since you can make your own statuses, if you see a status that doesn't fit, then create one. And so I'm just going to do didn't answer. What's going to happen is as soon as you disposition it, it's going to hang up, or not hang up, it's going to get rid of that lead, cycle to the next one, and then immediately start calling the other one. And it'll do the same process. If you're doing triple dials, it'll dial, hang up, dial, go all the way through, and just kind of repeat it over and over until you get to the last one. When you get to the last one, since I've only selected one, this is my last one, you'll get a very pleasant, you dominated those calls. Good job getting through them all, because calling is tough. So yeah, it kind of gives you a little congratulations message, but that is how you do a dial session. So there's also a couple of things to be aware of. So what can happen is, like, sometimes somebody sends you directly to voicemail. Here we go. Here's another Tim. So I'll kind of show you what'll happen. Obviously, you probably can guess, but so it's going to dial the person, and if they send you to voicemail, what'll happen is it'll pause the dial session. If somebody sends you straight to voicemail, the computer is just going to assume that a human picked up, because while it can actually decide whether it's a human or a computer, the percentages on its accuracy are actually really low. Well, not really low. It's about like 75%. And that's just not good enough for this. It would have to be like 99% accurate, or else it might accidentally hang up on a call that you were actually talking to somebody with, or it might just like leave a super long voicemail or something like that. So what if you want to keep dialing that lead, because yeah, sometimes people send you to voicemail, or they don't have reception at that exact moment you're calling. We've all been there. So if you want to just dial them over and over, you can just hit this dial button and it'll dial them again inside of the thing. So you can call, hang up as many times as you want until you feel satisfied. And then, just like before, to get to the next lead, just give it a disposition, and that's it.